Okay, this is episode 6. Lake Hamilton. Let's go. Here's Lake Hamilton. It's got a 68-pound blue cat, a 39-pound legendary channel cat, a 51-pound legendary flathead, and the legendary largemouth here begin at 1510. So what we really want are 14 and 15-pound largemouth. Also notably, the legendary spotted bass begin at 5 pounds, 14 ounces. And there's legendary fish. All these fish have legendary catches. So let's go. Cloudy, 7 in the morning. And I'll take you to the hot spot I just found, Hank Cherry's boat. And the Lake Hamilton hat and jersey. I'm rocking Hank Cherry's boat, the Garmin boat. Man, I remember a time when there was no navigation systems. And it was a lot tougher to get around. And we got it pretty easy these days because we got Garmin's and Google's and TomToms and we have navigation systems. So come up to this wall here. And a lot of you can remember that time as well. This tree here, on this curve, this is my new hotspot for at least 14 pounders. You see a little skinny tree? I found that when I get parallel with that, I can catch 14-pound bass here. But if I go any farther up towards the boathouse or any farther back, I do get fish, but I get 13 pounders. So there are some weeds here, so I'm going to go weedless with this tremor shad here. And I just like the medium cast here. You don't really have to full-length cast. Your chances are better at a 14-pounder here, probably if you medium cast. But this spot here, I just found it. It's awesome. It doesn't really heat up right away normally. 7:30, 8 o'clock, you will start seeing a massive congregation of all manner of species on the map. I do kind of hope I catch a legendary largemouth bass because this episode is special. My most watched video, my most commented on video, was Lake Hamilton Elite Series. This lake here is like everybody's favorite somehow. And I made other videos like Hartwell Classic and all different other videos on how to beat the Elite Series at different lakes, but Hamilton was far and away the favorite video that I ever made about Bassmaster. And just people want to know more about Hartwell. And they want to find the hot spots, and they want to Hamilton. They want to fish Hamilton. And somehow, like, I think it's because Hamilton is so, like, aesthetically pleasing. It's so beautiful with all the boathouses, and even the southern area has got houses, and it's so ornate, really. But this spot does turn on and become quite interesting. It is now 7:30 in the morning, and we start seeing some fish gathering. Oh my gosh. That looked enormous. What in the world is this? It's a largemouth and it hopped. This could be a 14. Which honestly, guys, for Hamilton, for the competition, the most covetable size will be 15s. Or plus 15. 15 8 ounces, 15 5 ounces. No, it's a 12. But you can see the largemouth. The first fish I caught here was a 12-pound trophy largemouth. It's a very interesting spot, and I suspect that in time and the right weather and right conditions, you can probably catch a legendary largemouth bass here. Which one? I found that in Bassmaster, the legendary largemouth that you often get is completely randomized. There's no way to specifically. That is a big bass there, my friends. That is a big bass. That is a big bass. There's no way to specifically target certain, oh no, certain legendary largemouth bass in this game that I know of. Yes, I got the really big one here. So that makes great video for this episode so far. If I can make a guess on the size of this, I have never caught bigger than 14 here. 14 and a few ounces here. So I will guess that it will be a 14. It just looked enormous under the water, but sometimes they're small, you know, when you pull them up. Yeah, he's not that big. Another 12-pound trophy. And we continue. But you can see for yourself, this is a really worthwhile spot for largemouth. And I get another largemouth here right away. It looks to be another over 10-pound trophy. But if I could just make a suggestion about the tournament. If I was playing in the tournament right now, I would probably try for 2 15s and 3 14s. Because in my experience on Hamilton, the northern section of the map is very good for catching the 14s. And the southern area of the map is good for locating and catching the 15s. But the 15s are just harder to catch. So I would go after 2 15s and then spend the rest of my time. Oh, wow. This is the biggest largemouth I have ever caught on this spot. It's 3 ounces shy of a 15-pounder. Absolutely competitive for the online open and phenomenal in general, overall. But personally, I would go to Big Timer Jay's spot first. Most people know about that. You can catch an easy 15 pounder there. And then, honestly, I would go all the way to the bottom of the map where all that moss is. And it's a well known 15 pounder, legendary largemouth area down there. I don't have a video in that particular area. Oh, no, I do. My Elijah legendary largemouth bass video. And there's a lot of moss and fallen trees at the very bottom of this map. And you can catch 15s there. But if you're in the tournament, guys, go for as many 15s as you know where they are and how to catch them. And then go for a 14 or 2 easy 14s somewhere. That is personally how I would try to perform there. But clearly, 15 pounders are possible here, as we have just discovered for the first time. Wow! A second 15 on this particular location with the tremor shad and a 4-hook. Phenomenal. If this were the tournament, I'd be like winning the round so far. That was the first hour and a half game time. Two super, super giant Lake Hamilton largemouth bass. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely phenomenal. And it seems to have really gone quiet here. And I'm not one bit surprised. If this was an attempt during a round in the tournament, I would leave now and go to Big Timer Jay's spot. Certainly, for sure. Because I do not believe that any more super giants are coming. But I really plan on staying here for a little while during my episode on the hotspot I found, and kind of showing it off to the world during the episode of my show. And I kind of wanted to be here a little longer. This is another trophy largemouth. No, just under 9, which is a sign, that you should move. Like, if you're in the tournament, you would definitely move right now. Don't trust it for 3. Don't waste your time, getting too greedy. Save your time. Go to Big Timer Jay's spot, and you can't do any better than 2 15s here. You're not going to do any better than that here, at least for a little while. Maybe come back afternoon or something. That looks like a nice bass in there. But if you want to compete in the tournament, I would say definitely check this spot out. it can yield multiple 15s by 8:30 in the morning. You can have like two 14, 13s on this spot. I will shortly be taking a bathroom break because nature is calling. And I am not going to start this episode over. Not with productivity like that. I have to use this video. So I'll be back in about 2 minutes. Okay. Let's continue. Episode 6, Lake Hamilton. And I hope you use this spot. As we have seen, it is quite effective for the tournament. As we have just proven, with two high 14s back to back in about a 10-minute. Now I'm kind of wondering if this is the legendary walleye. Because you see how slow it is and how massive it is. I have caught Eli before at Big Timer Jay's spot. But I do kind of wonder about this one. He's pretty large. But what can I say? People love Hamilton. I think it's because of how many houses and boathouses and docks, and the trees are just really cool, and just everything about Hamilton is pretty. No, I believe this is a $3,500 walleye. So that's an unusually, come on, that's an unusually valuable trophy. But it was 22, so let's look at the legendary here. Oh, wow. That was a few ounces smaller than Eli, the legendary walleye. A few ounces. So this spot is indeed very curious. and interesting. But for some reason, when I fished farther back, there's kind of a hot spot farther back, and there's a kind of a hot spot farther ahead of this. So this whole wall here is quite interesting and produces at least 13s. When I got there was 13s. When I moved ahead towards that little boathouse and I moved back, I got 13s. 13-pound largemouth. But here I just consistently, I get 14-pound largemouth. And you can see it's a raging, roaring hotspot full of largemouth bass and cats and stripers and trout. It's just anything you want to catch is here. Anything you want to target will be here, including the competition bass. I should have probably studied this map first. Because I had such success on my YouTube channel with it.
Big fish, and no whammy.
It was my best watched video, and more people watched my video longer because my video was 30 minutes. And not only did I get a lot of watches on it, I mean, for me, it was a lot, but people, like I have 500 hours on my channel of people watching my stuff. I just got a message that people have been watching my videos for like 500 hours. And I just can't tell you, like, how proud that makes me. That I didn't waste my time, that people do care about Bassmaster and love it just like I do and want to watch videos about Bassmaster. I just know how much I love the game. And if I love it the way I do, other people will too. Fishing is just an American thing. Bass fishing in particular, like, no matter how landlocked you are in this country, you probably have heard of and love the bass fishing sport and competitions, all the bass fishing in the United States, all the man-made lakes, all the bass fishing that goes on in this country. But I believe this Lake Hamilton is supposed to be like in Arkansas or something, which I do believe is quite a landlocked state. And there's no ocean around it, so, all they have there is freshwater fishing. They can't go out to the ocean and go saltwater fishing, which is a lot easier to catch fish. Wow. This would be a quite nice fish to have in the competition. Almost 14. So 2 almost 15 and 1 almost 14 by 10 o'clock in the game morning. I would be doing famously, if this was the tournament, an attempt of one of the rounds in the tournament, I would be doing very well right now with the tremor shad and a 4-hook. on this particular location. And I guess the real big question is, am I going to get any more absolute gorillas? Or is this spot done giving me monsters? That's a big one. There's a couple big ones in there. And as you can see, this spot continues to impress with trophy largemouth. Even after all I got already. Oh my gosh. Now sometimes these can look amazing, but they can be like 10 when you reel them in. Watch for a jump. If they jump, if they leap out of the water, or if they're really fast, then they will not be 14 or 15 pound plus trophy largemouth. Wow. Wow. A 14.9. That's almost 15 as well. So 3 almost 15 and 1 almost 14. That's incredible. Like, I had no idea, because I caught a couple low 14s here before. I didn't do this well. I had like a couple 14s and 1 full day. Like from 7 to 1500, I got like 2 low 14s. This is the first time I ever got a high 14 here. Like a high 14. And not only did I get one, but I got 2. And then a 14.9. Like a medium 14. Plus a high 13. So at this point, if I was in the competition, I would have an excellent chance at winning this entire round.
What do you got?
Leave it in the comments. What is your favorite lake? Is it indeed everybody else's, seemingly, Lake Hamilton here? Or do you have a different favorite? Honestly, my favorite is Sabine River. And you might say, well, that's the smallest bass. Yeah. I prefer the bigger bass too. It's just that I love the look of Sabine River. And I prefer it to like any other place. Hamilton's pretty. St. John's is pretty. They're all like good looking, really. I mean, the more you play them and look at them, the more you like Jordan and Hartwell, and they all have kind of unique, different looks. But Sabine there, Sabine, I gotta go with Sabine as my favorite. It's muddy, it's dirty, a 13, wow. It's just like crass and crude, and in that way it's kind of pretty, like in an ugly way, you know? I just think it's so strange, and the way it winds and twists and turns, and all the swamp areas to the south of it. It has those like swampy areas, so it feels like original and authentic, and like there are a lot of places to fish. And Sabine, just for me, Sabine River, I just love it. It's my favorite. What's yours? I'd love to know in the comments. So here, the most valuable bass is a 15 pounder because you can win the online open with 15 pounders or anything close to 15 pounders, like I did here with a few high 14s. But this is a hotspot I found. I'm not going to call it my hotspot anymore because I want to share it with you, my viewers. And I want you to try it out, especially during the competition. And you need 5 of them, guys. You need 5 big largemouth. And if I could give you any advice, I'd say use this and the Jenko swim bait. But this is probably best just for the weeds and a 4-hook. It doesn't matter what Ned rig, what Texas rig or jig or Carolina, whatever you want to use, whatever you normally use, as long as it's got a 4-hook. If you try a 5-hook, the catfish will be attracted to it. You'll catch a lot of catfish. And if you go with a 3-hook, it's really risky for the giants, the real giant largemouth. As a matter of fact, I would never myself use a 3-hook on the lakes with the real giant bass, the 14s, 15, and 16 pound bass. But if you're on Lawrence or Sabine, you have to use a 3-hook for the big bass. You have to. Like if you use a 4-hook or a 2-hook, you just will not get those 7-8 pounders in abundance, near as well as if you use a 3-hook. But here, man, you just got to go with a 4. It's got to be a 4-hook. Any rig. Makes no difference. But the 4-hook, you cannot live without. So I am considering moving. There's 4 more game hours in the competition, and you see it's just miserable with largemouth bass. Even slow, it's giving me trophy. This has got a heartbeat. It is absolutely miserable with largemouth bass and some real giants. And as we just discovered today, it is extra good for the competition, for the online open. And this video is living proof of that. Try it out. I think you'll have good success. At least I hope so. I have been here at times when I only caught 2 of them. And they were low 14s. So that's worth telling you that if you run into a day where you only get 2 low 14s, like 14.5, 14.2, the same thing happened to me. The same thing happened. And I fished from like 7 in the morning to the end of the competition, about 1,500. And all I got was 2 14s and some other smaller trophies. But as we have discovered today, it can be highly competitive for the online open as well. And I'm so happy it's making such a good video and demonstration of the power of this particular hotspot for competition. But I've decided to make a move. Now, I'd like to take you to a spot, a hot spot. That Big Timer Jay, he was an old connoisseur of this game and of YouTube. And he started a lot of people playing on different hotspots that he would find. And people watched a ton of his videos. Keep an eye on my map and where I'm going. This is Big Timer Jay's spot. And you should know about it, especially if you want to compete in the open every month. You want to compete here, you can do quite well by stopping here. There's 15s here. Like, you notice, as good as I did on the other spot, I did not get a 15. I got close to a 15. Here there are 15 plus. Super heavyweight, largemouth. So you should know about it. It's fun. Like, if you just want to free fish or you want to do like a Hamilton challenge, this is one of the best spots to fish the Elite Series. It is probably the best spot to fish the Elite Series. Because there's just always bass. Always. Even during the Elite Series, when everything else is totally dead, this will be alive with bass. I myself caught the largest bass on Hamilton, bevy, on this spot. And a few legendary spotteds. But there's not a lot of weeds here. Not a lot of weeds. So you could probably use the Janko if you want. Okay, this is a big boy. No barking. No. That's my mom's dog, Gretel. And she's in a vocal mood. Gretel, no! Be quiet! 13.
Give that hog a bone.
So two 13s, a 14-9, and two 14-13s. During competition hours. It's okay. It's decent. You can do better. The best is like having three 15s and two 14s. Or two 15s and three 14s. That's phenomenal. This is a rather cumbersome fish. I wonder if it's any big. But this spot is worth having in the episode. And another 13.
Check out the peepers on that swamp dog.
Not especially great. Yeah, you really don't want the 13s, guys. Not really. It's easy enough to pick up the 14s. So make it your goal during the competition to pick up at least two 14s. Just in case you don't get like 5 15s, make it your goal to pick up a couple 14s. I say at least a couple. 3 can even be good if you get two 15s as well. But I am brand spanking new to the tournaments. And I'm not going to let my mom's dog back into this room, even though she is scratching at my door, because she is getting very annoying. And she scratched again. All right. I'm going to let this dog in this room. Why? I do not know. Gretel, get in here. Now get in here and shut your yapper. Come here, up. Now she's sitting on my lap. She's a very cute dog. She's a multi-poo. She is white with some brown hair on her face. But if you see her from a distance, she looks completely white, like a sugar cube. And that is her disposition. That is her attitude. She is as cute and affectionate and kind as the day is long. A very nice dog. Very friendly. But I am kind of surprised that I have not yet caught a 14 or a 15 on this particular spot yet. Because here, guys, it always comes. Here. Just a great, on Hamilton, guys. You cannot hardly beat this spot. But during the tournament, I would say definitely have a couple to a few, a couple to a few hot spots that you know you're going to pick up at least 114, like in 10 or 15 minutes, you know, because that's kind of how you have to do. You need 5 of them. You need 5 big fish, as big as possible. So have like 3 spots, 2 or 3. I have 3 spots. Although I have never competed on Hamilton, I'm brand new to the tournament scene. And right now I'm in 3rd place on Jordan. One of my best lakes. Probably one of my top 2. I might be better at Sabine than I am at Jordan. But I'm also very strong on Jordan, largemouth. Very strong on Jordan. My largemouth game there is thorough. So check out my hotspots video on Jordan, and you can see exactly what I do for the tournament, where I go and what I do. I have not yet caught a 14 on this particular position. Maybe you do better if you start here, but I doubt it. My spot had like 2 15-pounders and a 14-9. Or there was 2 15-13s and a 14-9. Before 8:30 in the morning. That's highly competitive. And that never happened before on that spot. That has never happened to me before on that spot. But in all fairness to the spot itself, I've only been fishing that spot for like, you know, a few hours, a few real hours. But guys, anywhere you pick up a 14 on Lake Hamilton, it's probably possible to pick up a high 14 there, like a 14-10 or a 14-12 or something really phenomenal like that. So wherever you catch a 14, maybe you should mark it. Okay, guys, I'm leaving this spot to finish the episode on spot 3 that I think everybody that loves Hamilton should know about. Now, during the competition, you do take a pretty big chance at going to this spot because it's a great distance. And some old school players they've checked all this out. Every single little spot, and they haven't found much. I guess. I personally have not checked all of this. But there's got to be some secret spots that you will find with your fish finder. And if there's one bit of advice I could say about playing this game, guys. Don't even try it without your fish finder. In Bassmaster, just like fishing SimWorld Pro Tour, like, you know, the fish finder is like the most important thing in the game. That's Bassmaster. Like, it's no different here. This is how I look for hotspots. I come to the perimeter where all the hotspots are, and I go like this with my fish finder. If I see a fish, I stop. And if I see a lot of fish, I'll make a cast. So if you do not use your fish finder, you should start today. Like, that's how you really get the most out of Bassmaster. Like, when you find the hotspot yourself with your fish finder, like, nothing makes you feel better than finding a hotspot. With your fish finder, and with nobody else helping you at all, but that you find, you know, and you find all these trophies, you know, and you found them, and it just feels great. Okay, so you'll start seeing this stuff on the very southern edges of the map, like all this wood in the water. And this moss. Now there can be super heavyweights in these areas, guys. I caught Elijah in here. One of the biggest bass on the map. Also, use the tremor shad, because it is the best weedless lure in the game. So you won't get snagged, and you will attract the largest possible bass with the tremor shad, and it's just great for going weedless for bass. Nothing really beats it. And I'm going to go to full-length casting here. And just try this whole section for super giants. And there's another spot just like this a little farther down. A little farther to the west. And I'll spend till 1400 here. And if I don't catch a 15 or a 14 or a legendary, I'll move down to the next patch of moss and fallen trees. But pitch around in here, guys. I caught Elijah in here. Big Timer Jay used to use this spot in Royale to win Royale. But it can be a really good bet for a final 15 pounder, it can be a good bet. In here, super heavyweights. Not a very busy hotspot, not like super hectic, crowded, busy, but it's a really interesting spot to go for the super heavyweights, the 15s, and the legendary largemouth. So there's 5 more minutes in my episode 6 Lake Hamilton video. And these are the spots, guys, that I personally, I feel like you have to know about. You must know about, at least, especially for the tournament. But we all love Lake Hamilton. What can I say? Lake Hamilton is drop dead gorgeous. It is a looker. It is very aesthetically pleasing. It's like the prettiest map in the game, probably. Above the water. And under the water is phenomenal. There's nothing like seeing a legendary largemouth, a Lake Hamilton legendary largemouth come out of nowhere and just smash your lure, you know, on Lake Hamilton. It is special. So I only got 3 minutes to show you this last little area. And this is Big Timer Jay's spot. He uses this spot right in here for a super heavyweights and legendary largemouth bass during competition in a pinch. I mean, honestly, guys, in time, it's like a guarantee. Like, you can be sure that you will get something pretty significant out of these tree limbs and moss here. It's well known. It's only a matter of time before you catch a legendary largemouth bass in here. But if you stay to the end of the video and you love Lake Hamilton like I do, I really appreciate it. And I'd love to have you as a subscriber. I try to make new Bassmaster videos that are good as often as possible. But you don't have to. If you don't like subscribing, I understand. I was the same way. And to this day, I don't subscribe to people that I just don't know very well. And I'm the same exact way. I used to subscribe to these people, this one guy, and I turned out to not like him very much. So I unsubscribed. So you don't have to subscribe, guys. You are welcome to watch my channel. And thanks for watching this episode 6 Lake Hamilton video.